Okay, everybody, it's 6:30. 6:30, work session's about to begin. I'm going to turn it over to Municipal Services Chairman Ed Long.
Thank you, Mayor. This month and next month, we will be having some reports that'll be intermingled with the rest of the ordinary business. The year's half gone, so we're going to be brought up to speed on what has been taking place first half of the year. Our first one this month is Laura.
Okay, as everybody can see in their packet, Planning Commission has been extremely busy just this half of the year so far, from January to last month's Planning Commission meeting. They have passed 6 rezones, 6 preliminary plats, 2 final plats, 13 site plans, 11 replats to reconfigure lots, 2 special use permits, 6 variances, and done 3 alley closures. The rezones have been located on North Street, Bradford Street, and then we had that group that they rezoned 4 different pieces of the property out on South 89 to 4 different zonings. Then we had some preliminary plats of a couple subdivisions, of an apartment complex that's going to be on Cut Hill Road. Then the lot that Little Caesars is going to move to on South 2nd Street. Then on North Polk Street, there was a 22-lot subdivision passed. And then also the couple other single-lot subdivisions located on South 2nd Street, as well as the 4 Mile Creek subdivision located out on Willie Ray Street. Then the couple of final plats is in addition to the Autumn Brook subdivision out on South 89th Street, a tract of land located out off of Highway 5 next to Sonic. Then we had some site plans again for the 72-unit apartment complex on Cut Hill Road, another mini storage, self-storage unit on 367 and 2nd Street, which they have started construction on that. And then another apartment complex, 24 units on South 2nd Street. An after-school facility will be located off of Diedrich Lane. Then one of the facilities purchased next to Freddy's is going to be a tire shop. They have are going to be remodeling that and add an addition onto that to have a tire shop on West Main Street. And then a commercial building addition in Commerce Park. Then if you take the back way through Home Depot, you've noticed that the hotel has started to go up. Then the Cabot Parks and Recreation Indoor Sports Complex, the Planning Commission approved that site plan as well. And then on the outside of the city limits, there is an exceptional urgent care that is going to be built, that the Planning Commission approved, that the engineer and developer asked that the Planning Commission to review it just so that they can meet city standards in case they would like to eventually annex into the city. Then off of Ryland Drive, there's going to be another commercial strip center on that empty lot between the hotel and the backside of the laundromat, or not the laundromat, the dry cleaners. And then at the corner of South 10th Street and West Elm, we had another site plan for a self-storage unit as well. And then on the First Baptist Church Complex Center, they are adding addition to the Student Center. And then just last month, the Planning Commission also approved the site plan for the remodel of the old Price Cutter building, which is now going to house the Cabot Animal Sport Services building. And again, they did 11 replats to reconfigure lots, whether it went from 2 lots to 1 lot or 1 lot to 2 lots. They did 6 variances that included variances on existing buildings, sign heights, fence variances, the 3 alley closures that y'all approved as well, 2 special use permits for a wireless communication facility, and then a self-storage facility to exist in a C2 zoning district. So that's what the Planning Commission has been doing for the past 6 months. And July is looking just as busy as the past months have. If y'all have got any questions, I can answer any.
Laura, let me pass this around to questions, but I have a couple to start off with. We've not seen very many revisions to our codes or anything so far this year. Are you slowing down on that? Is things beginning to make sense? I know there's still some things that you want to work through, but I'm going to assume that they're not as critical as some of the others that we have dealt with.
Correct. There's going to be a couple here in the near future that I've been working on that y'all will see.
Okay, okay. Just let us know. We want to try to keep y'all as busy as we can, as efficiently as we possibly can. So appreciate you, appreciate your staff for what y'all do. Certainly appreciate the Planning Commission and the way that y'all work with Planning Commission and with Chad. Thank you. Now, anybody got any questions? I'll start here with James, and then y'all just work your way around.
I have one quick one, and it's curiosity. We listened to a Lakewood subdivision request for a final plat. Did anything ever happen with that?
It has still not been finalized. It still
Thank
has
you.
some outstanding comments that have not
I
been
looked for it
addressed.
in here and I didn't see it. It's the reason I asked.
And I guess you've had a record number of roofing permits.
You have no idea.
I looked at the numbers, I was like, wow, that's a bunch.
Last month, if my memory serves me correctly, we did over 500 roofing permits. And that month, last year, was only in the 20s. It was a lot.
Let me ask a question concerning that. I know that the volume just overwhelmed your staff and your office, and you changed your procedure up a little bit. I received one complaint. I think probably all of us did receive the same complaint about pictures and those kinds of things. By and large, did that change up work well for you?
In references that us accepting pictures or?
Yes, yes.
When it got to, my office just got fully staffed enough to have enough inspectors to complete this many roofing projects that we have been inundated with from the storm. So now I have 3 code enforcement officers that I can send throughout the city. I was running on one code enforcement person trying to get these.
I guess where I'm going with that, Laura, is if that procedure worked or needs to be fine-tuned a little bit, you may want to look at that, get with legal and look at that and maybe bring it to the council to adopt something for a disaster where that kind of stuff can be put in place, where that you've got an ordinance behind you, those kinds of things to make it work. I don't know. That's why I was asking how that worked for you, if that could be something that we need. I think that we need to have disaster plans in every department, yours included. And if that type of thing worked for you with a little bit of fine tuning, maybe it's something we want to look at.
It probably could, because a lot of the times that when we would get some pictures, it's not enough pictures. Or some of the pictures would be not as revealing as what we would see in person. So we would have to probably fine tune it to where
Maybe
we have to
fine tune it a little bit
say-
and come up with a procedure that they can walk in and get a procedure and know what to do and, you know, go on. That way the citizens are taken care of probably more rapidly than normal, and your staff would still have the ability to be able to do what they needed to do on that. Just a thought.
Yeah, because a lot of times the citizens feel better when they see somebody from the city
Absolutely.
there
Absolutely.
taking the pictures.
And that was the crux of the complaint that I received on that. I think I forwarded it to you, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, that was the crux of the complaint that I forwarded on that. You know, I don't feel like the city is protecting me well enough, but just looking at pictures, I need to see a smiling face out here. I believe you ended up doing that, sending someone out to look at that, and that was appreciated. I thank you for that. But something you may want to look at,
Okay.
just as a thought. Anybody got anything else for Laura? All right, you're next up on the agenda as well. So it's the condemnation, I believe. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, this property is located at 620 South 2nd Street. This is the former building known as the Old Tasty Freeze that everybody is familiar with. As you can see in the report, we have sent out notices for structural violations. We have sent out notices to let the owner know about the property needing to be taken care of and brought up to code. I have spoken with the owner multiple times. My code enforcement supervisor has spoken with the owner as well as walked through the building with the owner and our building inspector to let him know what needs to be taken care of. We have given him multiple deadlines to get items into us so that way he can either bring the building up to standards or do what other means that he needs necessary to demolish the building. As you can see in the pictures, I mean, this piece of property has been abandoned for several years. We, every year, have to make sure that the property is mowed, that the owner takes care of the property. The building itself has got many deficiencies. The electrical needs to be brought up to code. The air conditioning, or the HVAC needs to be brought up to code. The plumbing needs to be brought up to code. There are lots of things within this building, inside and outside, that needs a lot of care.
Okay, let's handle this two ways. Number one, let me open the questions up for the members of the Harmful Structure Committee. Anybody on that committee got any questions to Laura about this? Anybody? Okay, now let me open it up to the full council to address any questions on it. Anybody on the council got any questions? All right, anybody in the audience? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think Casey did a great job in annotating everything that she did with this. I was just curious, are there any other updates, conversations, communications since the last entry was May the 20th? Has there been any more contact with the owner, or has that been the last? He made no attempts to
My letter was
correct?
My letter was sent out on June 27th, certified mail to the owner. I did receive back in the mail today the certified card that it was signed for on July 1st, that the owner did receive the letter about the meeting tonight.
Laura, that letter, though, that you sent on the 27th was just notification of this meeting, is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is. As well as it was advertised in the newspaper as well for the owner or any lien holders that have any interest in the property. Matt, to answer your question, yes, there were a couple conversations that, emails that I had with the owner back and forth about the property, about what needs to be taken care of and addressed.
That was the last thing that I had in my information, so I didn't know
Correct.
if the property owner or Mr. Lemons had made any attempts to correct any of this yet.
No, sir.
Okay.
Because when I have to get the packets out in time, I believe there was a conversation after I got my information to legal staff to make sure it was in the packet.
Thank you.
Anybody else on the council have any questions? As I always do, I want to address this next question to Ben. Ben, all of our obligations under the ordinance and under state statute has been fulfilled on this, correct? Yes, sir, that is correct. Okay. All notices have been applied with? Yes. Thank you. All right. Anybody in the audience got any comments, questions, or concerns that they want to address about that property? Seeing none, I need we do have one? Okay. Step forward. Give us your name.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm the owner of the property on 620 South 2nd Street. And I try to work with Cassie all the time, and I try to talk with two engineer in town, Tim Lemon and Born Engineer in Jacksonville, to do all the site plan. And but Tim Lemon, he gave me a quote, but the price too high. I always talk with. Start from the first problem. I got the tag on the building. I talked to Cassie about asked her about the time because I have to move the house. And she said, no, I have to go apply the permit. Then I go to the city, submit the permit on April 19, and I put the request on, come together with the permit, is right here. Ask them for the time that I need to move the house from exactly date that we need to move the house from exactly date from, because somebody had to move in the house and I had to move out. So then they bring me everything with application back to me, and they didn't give me the time. Then I tried to work with Tim Lehman to push this, all the city need, like all the site plan, grading plan, landscape plan, all everything that the city need. But I talk to Laura, and she still not give me the time. And I go back to talk with Tim Lemon. The price is a little bit too high. Then I call Laura again and say, Laura, the price is a little bit high for me. I have to I have to find the good people or the right people do this job for me with the low price. And please give me the time. And she said, no, you have to, the deadline is maybe June 1st. And Tim Lemon, before I talked with him 2 weeks, he kept moving from time to time. He said he was very busy. And I tried to call Cassie about talk with her about what's going on. She told me, hold on, we're not gonna do anything against you right now because we're so busy. And I just wait on, I keep calling Cassie all the time. I have my phone, take her with a message, call her. She never pick up the phone and never reply me back. And I don't know, I talked to Monty, he the one city inspector that I know him 2-3 years ago. He all the time that I keep talk with him about the building. But he say I have to talk with Laura or Cassie about that. Then I always keep working to find the people that do the job for me. And I found the AECB or CD contractor on the Highway 89. Brian, he promised to do the job for me. He said, don't worry, he's gonna take care of everything for me. Then I trust him, but he never get everything done. And I called Laura. Laura, he told me he's gonna do it for me, but he's not doing anything. Then I find out he's not doing anything. I talked to Bond Engineer again about the price. He said he's gonna call Laura, talk with her to find out what he can do. Then we got the letter from, I think, by the certified mail. I go pick up from the post office, this one. But the letter this one, I don't get it. I don't get the notice or anything from the post office. And I check the mail every day because this is a big thing for me that I bought the building to open the business. We plan to remodel the building, make it look nice, make it look good, but I don't get this one, notice on this one. So, but the only thing I got is this one, that I have to come here today. So I don't know why you see just the time, she cannot give me the time to do all the site plan that the city needs. Just give me the time, I find the right people and do it. That's all. We're gonna do everything the city needs. But the only thing we need is just the time. And we have to find the right people with the good price. That's all.
Anybody got any comments?
And also I have this one that the engineer group from, I think he in Cabot. This one, I hired him to inspect the building, but he said the building is in good construction, is good. I mean, that's what he said in this letter.
Can I see the the copy of that paper that you said that you didn't receive that certified letter?
Oh, you want to see that?
Yes, sir.
This one, sir.
Thank you.
Laura, do you want to address any of the concerns that were brought up?
I did, Mr. Lemons did call me and contact me about what needed to be taken care of on this property. I gave him a list of items that needed to be submitted and gave him 2 different deadlines of when I was willing to work with the owner to get them submitted. I believe the first deadline was the end of April, and then I gave him to the end of May, and now we are in July. I also did talk to Bond Engineering, told them the same thing, gave them the rundown of what needed to be submitted to the city for him to move forward and get approval so that he can make the necessary changes to the property. Somebody from AEDC did come into my office, but that was late last week when they came into my office.
I appreciate you doing that, but I do not think that it is yours or the city's responsibility to interact with the engineers. And I do appreciate you doing that, trying to resolve the issue and move it forward. But we're not the owners of the building, the city's not the owners of the building, you're not the owner of the building, but I do appreciate you doing that. But I think that's going above and beyond. Mayor, I think you've got an employee that is doing well. What about the one that he said he didn't get? Do you have any information on that?
Those were sent to the address listed on AR County data, which is the property address. Those ones, which is the property that's here again listed at 620 South 2nd Street. We only received one of those back to our office. The one that he received as my letter for this meeting tonight, I had searched on AR County data to figure out if he lived within the city limits of Cabot, and the names matched, and that's how I found that address for that letter. Because the way that we send out certified letters is according to the address of what is on the county records. And with this property, the property address is listed as the mailing address.
Right, and that's the only information, Ben, that we have to be able to forward any legal documents to is that address. We don't know anything unless they have notified us of it, correct?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. And it's also somewhat mitigated by the fact that he's actually here tonight. So no matter what deficiency we got noticed, he's here. And Laura even went above and beyond. On every single one of these, she also publishes notice in the paper, which is also valid service. So we are triple covered on this. I have no concerns on that front.
Yeah, me either. Anybody got any other questions, comments, or concerns?
So just to double check, so have you secured an engineering company as of today, or no?
Sorry, again, please.
Have you hired somebody yet, or no?
I have this company. He gonna take care of everything after. If you guys give me the time to do it, he the one who take care from now.
So what was his timeline?
What's it?
The timeline that he gave you, that it would be done?
I have to talk back with them because they're the one who do this job. So I have to ask them how many days they need to get it done, and we start from that.
Have you signed a formal agreement with that gentleman that wrote the letter to the city? Have you signed a formal agreement with them to complete the repairs and take care of that? Have
Not
you
yet.
entered into a contract with him or any type of formal agreement?
Not yet, because he said I have to wait after the meeting today.
So you have not?
Not yet, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just going to tell you that the procedures for attempting to deliver a certified letter to a vacant building postal procedure is, if it is known to be vacant, there is not even an attempt to serve that certified letter. So he would not have ever gotten this letter. It was written up by the carrier as being a vacant building, so no notice was ever left. So he would not have gotten this letter.
I understand that, but also it appears to me that with something going on with the city like that, you would notify them of a place to send your stuff. You know, and I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but we don't have any other alternative. If we don't have an address on file, there's no other place to do it.
Just give him backstory.
I understand. Anybody got anything else on the council? Anybody? Maggie, you look like you've got something to say.
Have you seen the letter that he has from the company?
I glanced at it about 3 minutes ago. I believe he sent it to Laura and to the mayor. Would you mind taking that letter from the engineering company you're holding in your hand to the council member there, please?
Talking about this one. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
For those of you that hadn't read it, it's basically an engineer saying that the building is sound. The purlins, the structure, the girts, that it's safe. The building's safe.
And that's well and good, and that's great to have, but it's still not addressing the problem. Anybody else want to see the letter before we move forward? James, Matt, y'all want to see it?
I do have one question. Do you have a price from them to,
This one,
yes?
he gave me a good price, better than this one. So, like Tim Lehman is a little bit high on the price.
For the,
And
you've been
what
to Lemons Engineering, you've been to Bond Engineering?
Yeah.
And now you've been to this engineering company?
This
And-
one, yeah. This one is the last one that I talked with him, spoke with him. So that he gave me a good deal on it. He's gonna take care of everything for me. That's what he told me.
Have you issued a contract with him?
Right now, doesn't matter company right now because I just try to get this thing done. This thing the city need. I don't care the price right now. I mean, who can do it? We're gonna let them do it. Because I just try to open the business on the 2nd Street. I try to bring the business to Cabot because I opened 3 donut shop already around here. We opened Love Donut in Ward. We have Cabot Donut on South Pine Street. And we opened the one on West Main Street. So we try to open one more on the Tasty Freeze building. But that I'm bring 3 business to Cabot. So I want to open one more. That's why. Right now, I'm not care about who. I just want to need, if you guys give me the time, I'm gonna let them do it to get this thing done.
So the question goes back to time. So how much time are we talking? So when would you sign a contract with this new company?
Born engineer, he didn't tell me exactly time, but he's around about 3 weeks or some around that. He can get it done. But this company, he said he gonna get it done easy for him because he checked all everything that the city need on here. He said he can get it done faster than one engineer, but I'm not sure how many days because he just said that.
When or if do you plan on entering into a contract
Yeah.
with that engineer to complete the work? When do you anticipate on doing that?
As soon as possible. I mean, from now, I can sign any contract with the engineer to do it. Maybe tomorrow or, sometime this week, we're gonna get that thing start on it.
Anybody else got any questions?
I do have one other. The other properties, we like the idea that you want to invest in the city. And you already have some properties here. I go by your business on Pine Street and stop in there sometimes.
Okay.
Very good business.
Thank you.
That's in a lease building. Are your other businesses in leased properties, or do you own them?
Which one?
The one on Pine Street, do you own that building, or are you leasing that spot?
Oh, I leased the building from the,
Yes,
No.
that's a lease spot. And what you're talking about now is a sizable investment in a business that you will own the building.
The problem, Johnson, his business is bankrupt. I mean, he tried to lease the building, but I told him, if I lease the building, your building is too old. I tried to help him because he cannot make, he have problem with the payment to the bank. Then I talked with him, I spoke with him, say, okay, I'm gonna help you, but I know your building is too old. If I lease your building, it costs me a lot of money to put the money in to fix the building. But I just tell him, okay, if you sell it to me, and we can go talk to the bank, like Len, he from Sentinel Bank, and then we can put a lot of money into invest the building, because when we bought the building, it's my building, so I can put a lot of money in without, because we spend the money for my own building, so it's good. But if we lease the building, we cannot do that. That's why we decide to buy the building and help him from because his business close to one in Austin. Tasty Free in Austin.
Sir, I'm gonna interrupt you. Ben, I'm uncomfortable with this conversation. I think we're delving off into things that, with a third party that is not here, we need to discuss him and his building. We don't need to discuss a third party. I'm just a little uncomfortable with this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll shut up and let it go on, but I'm just a little uncomfortable with it.
No, I think that's probably right. I think the focused approach is probably best. Now, this is council's hearing, and council can hear what you want to hear to decide this matter. But just in general, a focused approach on what we're actually here on is best, yes, sir.
I would much prefer names not be called and those kinds of things. I think that's where I'm uncomfortable. If he wants to get into the nitty-gritty of it, that's great, but don't call names would be much to my preference, I think. Right or wrong, that's the way I feel about it. Let me ask a question, since you brought that up. Do you have an offer and acceptance on that Tasty Freeze building? Have you entered into an offer and acceptance on the Tasty building, or have you closed on it and it is your property?
I don't get your question, sorry.
Okay. Do you own that building? Do you have a deed with your name on it for that building?
Yeah.
Sir?
Yes. we own the
You
building.
have closed on it. That is your property now.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Okay.
banker is also shaking his head yes.
Yeah, that's not what I understood with the conversation that was going. I thought we was still hanging out there somewhere with bankruptcy courts and all that mess trying to get it done. Okay, that's why I asked that. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
When did you purchase the building?
I purchased the building, I think 2019. When I bought the building, after 3 or 4 months, the COVID-19 started. Then I cannot start doing any work on the building. I just left the building like that because I'm scared of COVID, so I'm not talking with anybody. And plus, the time that I bought the building, the city, I think water department, they dig everything behind the building also. And I asked them how long you guys gonna take to get that thing done, because they did a big job behind the building. Then they say about 4 or 5 months. I say, oh, okay, so you guys can do it, because I don't do anything right now, because let you guys take time to do it. I mean, the city did a lot of big thing behind the. You can check on a report or something. I don't know how you don't know that, but since the COVID-19 start, I did not come back a lot to the building to do anything. Then when I come back to the after we get the vaccine, then I start to do something. You know, we try to find people that paint the building, do a lot of things, but it's hard. When we have appointment with them, they never show up. You know, I keep trying to call a construction company come from BB. He talked with me around the building, and after that, never reply back with me what he want to do, or you know that. It's hard time for me to find the people do the construction. I mean, something on the building. That's a point that I keep from time to time, and I was very busy with my business on the Westman Street. So I just delay the time from time because cannot find the right people to do it. But I want to do it before the city put that tag in also. I bought a lot of equipment inside the building right now. We plan to open as soon as possible, but the thing we cannot find the right people to do it. That's the point. And that for the COVID, it's just almost 2 years already. I mean, we don't want to put because we pay a lot of money to the building. I paid 36 months already without profit from the building. So we keep paying the insurance on the building also. I have insurance on the building. And pay insurance and pay to the bank every month. And we don't want to lose that money because we have to make the profit from the building. The thing is we have to open the business. But like I told you, we cannot find the right people to start on the building right now. But when the city put the tag on the building, I called Cassie, said, what you need me to do? Because last year she did put one time already, but she did not say anything about, need to do something like the site plan or anything like that. Monty and Cassie just told me, you can hiring the people paint the building, like make it look better than what the building right now. But I cannot find the people that do paint the building. I just keep delay the time. So when the cold season starts, we cannot paint on the building because the people, they say it is not good because it's very cold, the middle thing. So I just delay the time from time, then we get the second notice on it. That's why we start from that problem, So we lose time for the COVID almost 2 years. That we don't want to put the building like that, But because the COVID is not COVID, we can't do anything better than what we do right now,
Through all of that, I missed how long have you owned that building? You've owned this building since 2019?
No, November 2019, we signed the lease. I mean, with the bank. So I think November 2019.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I'm going to need a motion to send this to council. I'm going to need a second if it goes to the council. Now, Ben, listen so you can throw something at me. If it goes to the council and it is approved on the council level, there is 30-day period after that to show some good faith on being able to take care of this. Is that not correct?
Yes, that is correct. If the council at the meeting approves the condemnation legislation, then there is a 30-day period to basically abate the nuisance, to either fix it up or tear it down. Yes, sir.
And if he was to enter into a contract with a reputable company, either engineering firm or a contractor company, that would show good faith on toward getting it taken care of, correct?
I believe so, yes.
You would accept that as a good faith effort to get it done, as long as there was some times in it, not something open-ended to.
Yes, I think as long as there was, there'd have to be a leash. It could, like you said, it couldn't be open-ended, and there would need to be short-term, consistent progress towards that.
Right.
But something like that, yeah, sure.
Would it have to come back before us to remove that?
So if the nuisance is ultimately abated, as we say, if it's fixed up, then yes, only the council can undo a resolution of condemnation. Yes, sir.
But in order to do that, you have to show substantial progress of being abated, and staff would have to clear it and everything like that, come back to us, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do own the building. You don't have a lease on it, you do own it.
Yeah.
Somebody loaned you the money, you paid off, and you got a title. You own the building.
Actually, we loaned the money from Sentinel.
I don't care where you got it from. That's between you and your banker. I may talk to you out in the hall and see what his name is, but that's between you and the banker. That's fine. I just want to make sure that we're not dealing with a lease here that is tied up somewhere else that you don't have any control over.
No.
That's my biggest concern right now. Anybody else got any questions? I need a motion.
I'll motion to move it to full council.
Got a motion to go to full council. I need a second. Dies from lack of a second. So, Ben, council still needs to really address this, make some type of official resolution on it. We can't leave it just hanging out there because staff has completed everything. We have complied with our ordinances, the state statutes, the whole 9 yards. We need to do something with it. We either need to table it, we need to move it forward, we need to do something with it. It's legislation that is on the agenda.
That's correct. We cannot deal with it under the auspices of a meeting because under our current guidelines, you cannot do that without it clearing work session. So my suggestion would be, if that is kind of what everybody's thinking, is to, if that's where the council is at, you can table it from a work session. So table it to a future meeting, like the August work session. That would give the owner a chance between now and August to show some good faith effort and to get something done, get something concrete done. And then at that point, we can see where he's at. We can see what the feelings of the council are.
And those actions need to come from the committee members, not from the full council, correct?
And the work session, that is correct.
At this stage, yes.
At this stage,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
So I'd like to make a motion that we table
Okay,
this.
hang on a second, Steve. Councilman Reed's motion died for lack of a second. I'm going to open it up for another motion.
Make a motion, we table this to the work session August 11th,
15th.
August 15th, sorry.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to hold it in the work session, hold it in the committee until August the 15th. Tammy, call the roll, please.
Long,
Yes.
Reed,
No.
Red,
Yes.
Coat.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to receive notice now. You will be back on the agenda August the 15th to discuss this again. We would very much like to see some substantial progress on you doing something toward that.
Thank you.
August the 15th,
Thank you.
okay? Tammy, please make it a notice in the minutes that he has been informed of the next August the 15th in this room at 6:30 p.m.,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Come with a contract, come with something. Just come with something, please. We appreciate your smiling face. We
Okay,
really
thank you.
do. And your pleasant personality, but you need a little bit more whenever you come back next time, please. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. During all that, my computer went dead, so let me find out where we are.
The next item.
I think that our next item is the much-anticipated, long-awaited presentation on our economic development. Mayor, is that not right?
Yes, sir.
I believe that's where we are.
Good evening.
Is it not working?
What am I doing?
I got it.
Oh, back, sorry. All right, good evening. So as we heard from Laura's presentation today, there is a lot of action and a lot of movement in the planning. And so what I wanted to do is kind of give you an economic impact analysis of the entire city. So what that is, it is going to determine the direct and the indirect benefits within a market. And the market is basically Cabot. So those direct impacts are what the economic assets are. The indirect impacts are the result from business-to-business transactions, and the induced impact is a result from consumer-to-business transactions. So as we take a look at the city of Cabot as a whole, you can see just how much progress and how much we have grown over the past 6 months. So the report that you have in front of you is going to be a snapshot of the information that we're going to cover today in this presentation, and it is going to be from January to June. So when we're looking at commercial permits, there were a total of 37 permits that were issued for just commercial. Two of those were for new, 31 for remodels, and 4 were for additions. That is a lot of movement, as you again heard from Laura just a moment ago. One of the most interesting things was the amount of business licenses that have come out of the city clerk's office. In total, there's over 1,000 business licenses that the city issues every single year. So month by month, I've laid that out for you, whether it would be the far left-hand side, which is the number of commercial business licenses. The column in the middle is the amount of in-home licenses that were issued, and then that number, or that grid on the right, that lighter color, is the total number. So all in all, we have seen a trend of business licenses being issued throughout the entire month. So we did see a small drop in the month of June, but again, I expect to see those also continue with trends moving forward of what we've seen in the past years. Taking a look at our commercial real estate, one of the most interesting things is every time that we get ready to present a piece of property or some commercial real estate to a potential investor or developer or retailer, that piece of property seems to be moving pretty rapidly, which is a great thing for the city of Cabot. That means that there are a lot of people who have their eye on our community. So what I wanted to show you, and this information was pulled from the Lamona County Assessor's Office, month by month, in the millions of dollars, the amount of real estate transactions that happen. This is just commercial real estate transactions for the city. And then the number of transactions are indicated on the left-hand side as well. As you can see, in the month of June, that's $17 million in real estate transactions. So what does that mean? That also means that there is a lot of sales tax that has been collected over the past 6 months. It has really been interesting to see the trend actually moving through. The clerk's office does an amazing job of keeping records of these specific categories over the course of years. And we have seen increases, and I can run those numbers for you if you are interested on the percentages. But every single category from month to month has shown an increase in tax revenue over the past years. We are seeing numbers that are just unprecedented, especially even moving out of COVID. We had some really great numbers when it came to the full-service restaurant without a bar, but we seem to see that those numbers are continuing to climb and hold steady as well. So for those in the audience, we're going to go by category. So that electronic shopping and mail order, that total for the past 6 months is $480,000. Building materials and supplies is $656,000 total. Other general merchandise is $1.65 million. Full-service restaurants is $372,000. Restaurants and other eating places with no bar is $179,000, and the grocery stores is $433,000. And again, this is the sales tax that has been collected on behalf of the sales within the city of Cabot. So what does that mean for economic development? Again, we talked a lot about, over the past 6 months, what inventory that we have within our community, what does our community want, and what does our community need. So every month, the consultant that we have secured and myself, we actually have a plan of attack of what type of businesses and industry that we're going to be marketing to. We do sales analysis, and we send a lot of different data to them to let them know. We talk about the, part of that data is also capturing who is coming into our city to shop. And again, those sales tax numbers are really important for that. Where are they coming from? How long are they staying here? And when they are here? And what type of businesses are they visiting? So these are the types of businesses that we are soliciting every single month to recruit them to our community. So I wanted to snapshot that. I'm not giving names of who they are. No, that was the next question. And then I also wanted to give a small summary of our economic incentive. So in October of last year, you guys passed Ordinance 35 of 2021, entering into agreement with the Holiday Inn Express property. That is, as you can see, currently under construction, and the has been is actually almost up. Halfway up, as a matter of fact, the other day when I drove by. So the MOU outlines that we provided him $35,000 for the pad when the hotel is poured. That has been obligated, and we did issue that first payment in June of 2022. There are a few other markers that you guys also approved, and those will come as he progresses through the transition of getting that building. And we do know that that other building next to it, which was the Hampton Inn, is also gone through Planning Commission, and he's expecting to get that going at the end of this month, the first of next month. All right, that is all I have for you today.
Questions? Stephen? Ron? Maggie? Brandon?
Nope.
Matthew?
The question everybody wants to know, when's Chick-fil-A going to get here?
Are you ordering us all Chick-fil-A tonight?
Sure.
Oh, fantastic. I'm going to take a chicken sandwich.
Okay.
I take that answer as a no answer. I think maybe you just got snubbed. I don't know if you knew that. I just wanted to inform you.
Anybody that knows me knows sarcasm is inevitable.
Never noticed.
James?
I'm impressed with the $17 million you did in June in new real estate sales, commercial.
Pretty
That's-
substantial once you take a look at it, right?
I would like to see the breakdown of that.
I actually have all the cited sources here with me if you want to look at it after the
Okay.
meeting. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Anybody in the audience have any questions? Thank you for the report, and I think, Mayor, if it's okay with you, and I'm sure that it is, I think I'm going to change my reporting periods to twice a year. I think we're going to do them in January, June, or July. Do 6 months at a time. I think maybe that's going to be better. I think your staff will like that better. So I believe.
We're just here for the council if they want them.
Yeah, I
4 times,
think
3
that'd be.
times,
I
we'll
think
just do
that'd be
it.
good enough. I think. I just, Laura is doing it every 3 months. I think she can keep up with every 6. I think 6 months would probably be better if we do it like that, and then just put everybody on the same rotation. I'll get with you when we do that, and we'll make it happen. All right, that concludes mine. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Next up, Budget and Personnel Committee, Chairman Matt Weber.
So we have one item on the agenda, has to do with a resolution dealing with something that the state legislature did recently. So I'm going to turn it over to the mayor and Ben to tell us what the money's for and who's going to get it.
Basically, Ben prepared a great resolution for y'all. It looks like it's a one-pager with signature on the second page, but basically, if you've been following the state legislator, as legislation. They have a grant where they'll give each acting police officer and new ones that we hire through a certain date $5,000. And this is what this is, because as you know, per municipal accounting, we can collect money, we can't spend money without council's purview and acceptance. So basically what this resolution does is allows us to say we're going to collect those funds, and we're going to give those funds out to the proper officers within our city and the officers through a certain date that can get those payments. Ben?
Yes, that's exactly correct. I guess really the two things to know are, as the mayor said, there's no hit to the city. Everything, the state has allocated all the funds for this, including the withholdings. And two, this is some sort of action like this is required by the state statute. The state did require that the cities go in and appropriate money through some sort of legislation like this.
And what was the requirements one more time? I'm sorry, I missed that, Mayor.
They have to be an acting police officer. Now, maybe Ben can define a police officer better because he was on some conference calls. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they have to be a full-time law enforcement officer as of July 1st, and they must continue in that capacity for at least 180 days after receiving the money.
Outstanding, I love it.
Also, another thing that I think is important, this is a zero net gain to the city. They send the money for the stipend, and they also pay our portion of the withholdings. So it is not a hit to our budget in any shape, form, or fashion.
And the timing on the payments, that's going to be on an off week of their normal pay periods?
Yes, it is the recommendation the state has made is to do a whole separate pay run for this money. It's just a little bit cleaner that way. Chief Seeley and his team did a very good job. They submitted everything exactly on the deadline. They did it early on the morning of July 1st. It's a first come, first served thing, so we're hoping we did it early enough that we will get that money back early. We have asked, there is no timeline for it. It has to go through standards, then through DFNA, and then it'll hit us. But as soon as we do that, this legislation will allow us to get that turned around as quickly as we can.
And basically what this legislation does too is so the person that started last week, when they do their 6 months in the year, this legislation covers that we can write them a check.
That's right.
They have to have the police academy completed before, though, don't they?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
They have to have the academy
Certified.
completed before January 1. Yes.
Have to be hired before July 1st and complete the academy for that. And
Yes, sir.
also, if they leave in that 180-day period, they have to pay the whole thing back. It's not prorated. They have to pay it all back.
That's exactly right. And that's nothing the city has to do or the council has to do. That's between DFNA and the individual officer. That's right.
All right, any other questions, comments? I would say any committee members have questions or comments, but we kind of went past that, so anybody and everybody? Anybody in the audience have any question or comments concerning this? Hearing, seeing none, I'm open to a motion to send it to full council.
I make that motion.
And I'll second it. Thank you. So Tammy, would you mind calling the roll for the Budget and Personnel Committee?
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes. I would say the motion passes. And unless anybody has anything else, that is the end of our committee report.
Thank you, Chairman Weber. Great job tonight. Police and Fire Committee, Chairman James Reed.
Police and Fire don't have any agenda items tonight. We are pleased with the item that just came up in Finance.
Thank you, James. Next item, Community Development Committee. I know Chairman Ed Long, we kind of did this already.
We did. We already had a great report. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Military Affairs Committee, Chairman Ron Waymack. Thank you, Ron. General Community Input, now's the time if you'd like to come to the podium, address who you are, and tell us if you live in Cabot. Seeing none, Council, do you have anything to add? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Stephen, seconded by Brandon. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourned at 7:30. Our council meeting will begin in 5 minutes. Okay, it's 7:35. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Thanks, everyone, for coming and staying. Before we have the opening prayer, I need to ask council if I could get a motion to amend the agenda to remove resolution number 33 of 2022. I got a motion by Ed,
Second.
second by Brandon. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, I'm sorry, Tammy, roll call vote?
Long,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
No.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Passes 6-1. Thanks, everyone. Okay, next item's opening prayer. If you could stand. Matt Weber's going to do the opening prayer, followed by Ron Waymack doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please bow with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Although it was hot, we love you and thank you for the many blessings that you provide every day. Please give us the knowledge and wisdom that we seek as we make important decisions for our community. I pray that we never forget that we are here to serve the people of our community. Father, please watch over our military and first responders as they serve to protect all of us. Thank you for your grace. Please forgive me when I fail you. I ask all these things in your Son's holy and precious name. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. Tammy, could you do a roll call for us?
Long,
Here.
Red,
Here.
Hillenberg,
Here.
Coe,
Here.
Reed,
Here?
Weber,
Here.
Waymack.
Here.
Thank you, Tammy. Now we have a couple of awesome candidates that are getting some mayoral proclamations tonight. I've got two here. I guess let's start with Caden DeVaco. I said that right? DeVaco.
Mayor, let me chime in. I got to sit on both of their Eagle Scout reviews, and they were very well done.
Thank you so much. Good job. You just got look at that. All right, whereas the mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices of their lifetimes by instilling in them the value of the Scout Oath and Law. Whereas the designation of Eagle Scout is the highest achievement in the Boy Scouting program, which was founded in 1910, and only 8% of Boy Scouts are granted this distinguished rank. And whereas Caden DeVaco, a member of Boy Scout Troop 23 in Cabot, Arkansas, has completed the requirements and was examined by the Eagle Scout Board of Review, which found him worthy of the rank of Eagle Scout on May 2nd, 2022. And the Boy Scouts of America encourages Eagle Scout candidates to complete worthy projects to improve their neighborhoods and their communities. And whereas Caden's Eagle Scout project consisted of constructing a Gaga ball pit and picnic tables for his church, Second Baptist Church of Jacksonville. Whereas Caden DeVaco serves as an example to the youth of our community through the high level of personal achievement, leadership, and community service, and has made the city of Cabot very proud. Now, therefore, I, Ken Kincaid, Mayor of the City of Cabot, do hereby recognize and congratulate Caden for his outstanding accomplishment and extend to him our deepest appreciation for all his dedicated work and wish him the best in all your future endeavors. Thank you, sir. Okay, our next Eagle Scout is Laura Wingate. I did that one right, didn't I? Okay. Whereas the mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the value of the Scout Oath and Law. And the designation of Eagle Scout is the highest achievement in Boy Scouting program, which was founded in 1910, and only 8% of Boy Scouts are granted this distinguished rank. And whereas Laura Wingate, a member of Boy Scout Troop 623 in Cabot, Arkansas, has completed the requirements and was examined by the Eagle Scout Board of Review, which found her worthy of the rank of Eagle Scout on May 23rd, 2022. And whereas the Boy Scouts of America encourages Eagle Scout candidates to complete worthy projects to improve their neighborhoods and their communities, and whereas Laura's Eagle Scout project consisted of restoring the Hardman Memorial Garden at Pinnacle Mountain. She replaced the cedar fencing, updated the plants, and added new cedar mulch. Whereas Laura Wingate served as an example to the youth and community through her high level of personal achievement, leadership, and community service, and has made the city of Cabot very proud. Now therefore, I, Ken Kincaid, Mayor of the City of Cabot, do hereby recognize and congratulate Laura for her outstanding accomplishment, extend to her our deepest appreciation for all her dedicated work, and wish her the best in all her future endeavors. Congratulations. She's waiting, isn't she? You said it right the first time, Jeffrey. Congratulations. I think we have the best kids in Cabot, don't we? Okay, our next item is to read ordinances and resolution by title only. Can I have some action?
Make a motion to read ordinances and resolutions by title only.
Second.
I got a motion by Stephen, a second by James to read ordinances and resolutions by title only. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes?
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Yes.
Thank you, Tammy. Vote passes 7-0. City Council old business, I don't have any. Council, do you have any old business? Seeing none, City Council new business, I have one item tonight now, is resolution number 34 of 2022. Please, Tammy.
Resolution number 34 of 2022, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk treasurer to disperse funds pursuant to Act 224 of the 2022 fiscal session of the Arkansas General Assembly, to amend the general fund of the 2022 annual operating budget and for other purposes.
I'll make a motion, we approve 34 of 2022.
Second.
I got a motion by Stephen, a second by Matt to approve resolution number 34 of 2022. Any discussion by council? Any by the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes?
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Any other new business, council? Seeing none, we'll roll into community input. Now's the time if you'd like to address the council. Please come to the podium, state your name, and let us know if you're from Cabot. Council, do you have anything left to add before we adjourn? Seeing none, all in favor? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn? I'm sorry.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Stephen.
Second.
Second from Brandon, motion from Stephen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourned at 7:45.